Here's my new Pantorouter completely in pieces because I just varnished all of it. And I put some bits of tape over some areas where the varnish would add too much thickness and jam things up, like these rails that have to fit in here. I had tape on here before too. And I taped up some of the holes in the pantograph as well. I set up the iPad to capture a time lapse of putting this back together, and then I'll probably narrate that. The first thing I have to do is clear all the bits off the workbench so I actually have some room to work. And last time I assembled those tracks, it was just with a few balls and no grease, so I got out the grease gun and I'm putting grease in the tracks and then putting the ball cages back in with a ball in every other position except for the ends where I put a lot of them in. And then I put the screws back in the ends of the track, which keeps the ball cages from sliding out. And now mating the tracks back together and installing the back dust guard. And here I have all the pantograph pieces, and I need to peel off those pieces of tape that I put over the holes to keep the varnish out of them. And now installing the main pivoting shaft, including the washers, which is pretty tricky. I forgot the blocks initially, I had to put those in, and then adding the mounts on there, front and back. That block on the back needs to slide to the side by maybe 1/3 of a millimeter, so I actually added a screw at an angle just to pull it to the side a bit. And next comes the operating lever and then the link for the rotor mount. Just cleaning a bit of varnish off of there and then adding the rotor mount with the pins in there. These actually fit much better now because I reamed out the holes in the links to take out any twist that I had in them. Then mounting the spring cam behind the pantograph, although I'm not putting the string and spring on it at the moment. And now it's time to mount the table. I need that table on there now because I want to check the pantograph against the table to make sure everything is parallel. And now comes the template mount, and this time I'm screwing it in with 4 long screws on each end. And now comes the sliding template mount with 2 carriage bolts and knobs in the back to hold it in place. And now I'm adding the depth stop mechanism. And the plunge lever that goes right above the depth stops. And now I'm finally adding the springs, which help to compensate for the weight of the rotor and makes it much easier on the hand when operating the Pantorouter. And a few more screws in the table. And mounting the tenon template because I'm about to try it out by making some more mortise and tenon joints. So this thing that I built is actually for putting a tabletop above one of my small dust collectors, so I have yet another place to keep a Pantorouter.